Do you want to smash your enemies' faces to the ground and outplay them with Set but fail to do so? Well, do not worry, I'll make sure you go from this to this. Just watch the video till the end. I'll be explaining all his abilities, build, combos, along with some good tips and tricks. So warm up your moves, and let's jump into the world of Wild Rift. His passive is Pit Grit. Set's auto attacks work a bit differently than other champions. Set hits 2 alternate left and right punches simultaneously. He starts with his left punch, which is followed by a right punch. His right punch has bigger range and deals additional damage. If you watch closely, you'll notice the range gets bigger after he hits his left punch. Set will reset back to left punch after few seconds if it is not casted. His first ability is Knuckle Down. Set gains 30% movement speed when moving towards enemy champions. He also empowers his next 2 basic attacks, which deal bonus damage. You can see his hands lit up when his next attacks are empowered. Also, this is an auto attack reset ability. Auto attack reset happens when you cancel the delay between auto attacks. So with Set, you can land like 4 punches in an instant if you time it right. In late game, this ability deals shitload of damage. His second ability is Haymaker. Set stores 100% of the damage taken as grit. The white bar indicates how much grit has been stored. Upon casting, Set will consume all the grit and gain a shield which decays over time. Also, Set will land a massive punch, which will deal true damage to enemies at the center and physical damage to the enemies at the sides. The shield and damage always scales with the grit you have stored. So it's always best to take the maximum possible damage before using Haymaker. The best time to use this ability is when the white bar becomes yellow. At that moment, it is at its maximum potential. Make sure to use it as soon as possible since grit decays at a very fast pace. This ability is really great to outplay your opponents. Perfect usage of it will definitely turn the tides of a game. Quick tip, you can use S2 plus flash to catch enemies out of range. Use your S2 first so that it instantly hits when you flash. His third ability is Facebreaker. Set pulls enemies from 2 opposite sides and stuns them for few seconds. But for them to get stunned, 1 enemy on each side is mandatory. If there aren't enemies on both sides, Set will slow them instead. This ability is really great to pick out enemies overextending and punish them for it. You can also use Flash plus S3 to catch enemies by surprise. In teamfights, use this to catch out enemy carries, and then throw them to your team with your ultimate. Quick tip, you can use minions to stun the enemy as well. So you can harass them with the help of minions, especially during the laning phase. His ultimate is the Showstopper. Set grabs an enemy and carries them forward in air. Upon landing, Set deals damage to the surrounding enemies and also slows them for a second. His ultimate is really great to single out enemy carries in teamfights. You can catch them and throw them to your team to easily win the fights. Or else you can use your ultimate on enemy frontline to bridge the gap between you and the carry. Quick tip, Set is unstoppable during his ultimate, but he'll be affected by the CC after he lands down. So be aware of this before turret diving, or you'll end up like me. Moving on to the build in runes now. For the first item, you can go for either Blade of the Ruined King or Black Cleaver, depending on the enemies and your team's composition. If your team has no tanks and enemies have tanks, then go for Black Cleaver first. If your team has tanks, then you can go for Blade of the Ruined King first. For the second item, always go for Sterak's Gauge. Provides a lot of value with the base damage and health. For the third one, pick Blade of the Ruined King or Black Cleaver depending on what you went for first. As for the boots, go for Mercury Treads in most cases. If the enemy has full attack damage comp, then you can opt for Plated Steel Caps. Always go for Stoneplate as the enchantment. For the fourth item, build Guardian Angel. Works well in most cases. You can also opt for Randuin's Omen instead, if enemies have many crit champions like Yasuo, Vayne etc. For the last item, you can build Warmog's armor on Set. Makes him extremely tanky and also gives him insane health regeneration. If not Warmog, you can build another tank item depending on the situation. For the runes, pick Conqueror as the keystone rune. Then in the second row, pick Triumph. For the third one, go for Adaptive Carpus. The attack resistance and magic resistance provides a lot of value to Set. And finally, for the last rune pick, Hunter Genius. Your spells would be Flash and Ignite. Let's move on to some of the tips for Set. Tip 1. Always use your S1 before S3, so that you have extra movement speed, and it's easier to catch the enemies. Tip 2. Try to be as aggressive as you can in lane with Set. Because minions help you a lot in gathering grit, which you can use to get easy kills. Tip 3. You can do easy turret dives with Set, since he can soak a lot of damage with his Haymaker. But make sure you aren't getting CC'd under the turret. Tip 4. Always max out his S1 first. Then his S2 and S3 respectively. Let's move on to his combos. His combos are very easy to understand and master. First combo is auto attack, S1, auto attack. This is his fastest auto attack combo. Second one is S1, S3, auto attack, S2. This combo is really good to trade, and potentially even kill them. But wait for your grit to fill up, until you use your Haymaker. The next one is ultimate S3, S1, auto attack, S2. The ultimate and third ability will slow the enemy a lot, so you can finish them off easily. Well, that's all for the video. Leave a like if you found it informative, and subscribe as well if you're new here. Hope to see you again.